Hey everybody, Bill Salvatore here from Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, representing Park and Rec at home. Today I'm at Houston Playground for a little tour of the Houston Meadow for Walkabout Wednesday. Walk Around Wednesdays is about getting out and about during these troubling times. You know, the one thing we can do is get out into nature and walk around. A little highlight here of Houston, where I spent many days before moving down the road to Kendrick and eventually to the main office. This is Houston Playground. It was dedicated July of 1972. Along the way, I'll talk about the Houston family who donated the land, but you know, we have a really good rec leader here, Betsy Henninger. If you have a chance and you're in Northwest Philly to come by during normal program times, she has art programs and adult sports, dance class, all kinds of fun stuff. And then this beautiful spray dragon was put in not too long ago that you can bring the kids to in the summertime. So just a little intro to the Houston Playground. We're going to walk through the amenities here, the softball field, the soccer field, the courts, and then we'll make our way back to the meadow. So this is a brand new mini pitch. It was a partnership with the Philadelphia Union to help put this in. This was a dilapidated tennis court that wasn't being used. So the Roxbury United Soccer Club pitched the Philadelphia Union to come in and repurpose it. So it's repurposed. It's got lines for futsal, where kids can practice 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and futsal is really big now because it helps with your foot skills when it comes to soccer. It's not just about being fast, it's about actually being skilled. So really nice that this was put in by the Union. So this is a Jim Potoma foot hockey, roller hockey rink. Jim Potoma was an ARL up here at Houston who passed away from autoimmune disease probably about 20 years ago. Probably one of the biggest adult roller hockey leagues in the city. Some summers we get as many as 18 teams from across the city participating here, which is really nice that hockey hasn't died everywhere. All right, we'll make our way back to the meadow. So if you come up for this meadow walk, the easiest thing to do is just come straight out left field, and there's a trail right behind left field that'll walk you down into the meadow. All right, as we make our way through the trail here. So this meadow was reestablished in 2013. It was covered with invasive species. So the city came in with a few partners, I think Audubon Society was one of them, to reestablish the meadow. So you see a lot of native grass here. Somewhere around 170 now native species of vegetation reside in the meadow, as well as we brought back, I think, 40 plus native species of birds. So we'll see along the way here, you'll see a bunch of bird houses to help with that. We'll get a really good look at it as we come around, but all told, the Houston Meadow is 48 acres. So it's actually pretty massive, you'll see. And it kind of circles from the playground, which is in the middle of Andorra, around into the Wissahickon Valley, and then comes back out. And I really like it. It's a good walk because, number one, it's pretty much a circle, which makes it easy to not get lost. And then you get to see the meadow itself, and then you go into the forest a little bit, and then you come back out and you see the meadow again. It's a nice scenic walk. Even on a winter day like this, when it's 50 degrees, it's beautiful. So now we're running parallel here to Cathedral Road. You probably can't see too well here, but this little valley is a run, and there's a number of runs in Roxbury. And a run is just a small to medium-sized stream that feeds the Wissahickon Creek, which we'll see in a little bit. But really important to note here, because we do care about nature in our department. Stormwater management is huge, so the water department came in and worked with us to kind of reestablish this, because what was happening is, as streets came in, like Cathedral Road, and then down a little further, Wiseman Mill Road or Bells Mill Road, when a rain comes, it would just be like a raceway for water to go down into Wissahickon. The Wissahickon would like fill up rapidly and flood. So now, if we get closer to it, I'm not sure if we will or not, you'll see a bunch of rocks down there to help break up the water as it goes down. So it takes time to get to the Wissahickon now, instead of just being a straight shot down. So we're about a mile into the walk at this point. So there's your first glimpse of the red covered bridge. We'll get a better look at it as we come around the turn here. You can hear the creek. You hear it bubbling? That's how close you are. I remember not long after the meadow was reestablished and they put these trails in, I did a walk back here just kind of exploring, and I came across the red covered bridge and I was like, holy cow, I can't believe we're that close, you know, to being down Forbidden Drive, but you really are. This is another one of those like little runs that feed the Wissahickon. I'm not sure which one this would be, but again, you can see like if you had a swelling of rainwater, how this would fill up pretty quick and then dump all that water into the Wissahickon. Oh look, you can see this is probably all the melt. This is normally a dry little patch here, and you can see how it's a little bit swollen thanks to like the melting snow. So now we're like directly above the bridge. So this is what I was talking about. If you followed this straight up from the Wissahickon, straight up the hill here, you'd end up in left field of Houston. That's how close we are. And you know, while we're here, I might as well mention that that's the Thomas Mill Bridge. Thomas Mill Road was down there, I guess, at some point. That was built in 1737, and it's still the only covered bridge in a major U.S. city. You may see covered bridges in like small towns, but you won't see one in a major city. All right, so it's not as cool now because we're in the winter, but in the summer, and this happens over the indoor meadow too, as you leave the forest, this is the deciduous forest because the trees fall, you see the transition from the forest to the meadow. You'll see really dense forestry, like if you look behind you, big trees, right? As we come around this turn, you'll notice that the trees get smaller and smaller, less and less, and the native grasses start to come back. You can see the grass coming back here. More native grass now, right? Kind of a telltale sign of the meadow. And right around this turn, you'll see kind of the vastness of how the meadow is. So now you can start really getting a sense for like how big the meadow is. And I love it in the summer because you'll be going through a nice shady forest, a little bit cool. You'll turn that corner and you get blasted with a ray of sunshine in your face as the whole thing opens up. By the way, just take a look. I mean, come on. Like, seriously? Again, completely reestablished. All native birds and vegetation now. It's amazing. So as we're starting to wrap up here, so all this land, the playground land, the land where these houses are, the meadow, stretching into Chestnut Hill, if you know where Chestnut Hill Academy is, Springside Academy, all that land was owned by a fellow by the name of Henry Houston. He was a railroad tycoon in the 1800s, and he purchased all this land and he started selling out swatches of it, and that's how Chestnut Hill came to be, in Roxborough, etc. When he passed away, he was left to his son Samuel Houston, who the playground's named after. And Samuel, I think, is one who started donating land to the park. And then finally, Eleanor Houston, I don't know what her married name is, but Eleanor is the one who had the land commissioned and had the building built in her brother Sam's honor. Houston was dedicated in July of 1972. And Henry Houston, unless something's changed, he is buried at the Episcopal Church on the corner of Willow Grove Avenue and I think Seminole, which is like right down the block from Chestnut Hill Academy. Now here we are, almost back to where we started. So if you want to take this walk, 2.5 miles around the Andorra Meadow, or the Houston Meadow, 2.5 miles around the Houston Meadow, put 900 Graken Lane in your GPS, 19128 takes you to Houston Playground, walk straight back to left field, and just drop into the Houston Meadow. Take that nice walk. We'll go right up here and take us right to the outfield. And that, my friends, is your tour of the Houston Meadow. Thank you very much. Make sure you get out, stay safe, stay masked up, social distance. Enjoy all Philadelphia has to offer.